Hello everybody, I'm Dan. Welcome to my Java tutorial series. Throughout my tutorials I'll teach you Java using just Notepad and the command prompt. The order in which my tutorials are organized on both my website at javacjava.com and my YouTube playlist is designed to maximize learning by building on concepts from prior tutorials. This tutorial is part one of my This Keyword tutorial. Okay, I'm going to open up my website here, javacjava.com. Click on the little menu pop out here. Select Java OOP Tutorials. Scroll down here to the This Keyword Part 1 tutorial. The This keyword contains a reference to the current object from inside of the object. A little confusing there at first on that definition, but you can access any member of the current object using this from within a method or constructor. This tutorial will explain how to use the This keyword to access instance variables. It's very common to name the constructor or method parameter variable the same name as the instance variable. I will modify my box class from my Constructor Overloading tutorial to demonstrate how to use this. Okay, let's come down here and highlight all this code here. Control C or right click and select copy. You definitely don't want to see me type in all of that, that's for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and click on Start, Search, type in CMD. If you're running Windows 7 or earlier, you can go to Start Run, type in CMD. I was looking at the rain, it's raining out there right now, that's kind of funny. Okay, so when you open up your DOS prompt there, type in Java C, and we'll scroll, it'll scroll by with a whole bunch of stuff here. If you get an error message, then go ahead and take a look at my tutorial for installing the Java Development Kit. You want to make sure you get that installed and configured properly. CLS to clear the screen, CD space backslash, CD is short for change directory, backslash tells it to go to the root. Do MD Java, make directory is MD Java, I already have it, but if you didn't, it will go ahead and create it for you. We'll change directories to the Java folder, and then we'll make another one. We'll call this This Keyword. And we'll change to that folder, and we'll notepad up this keyword.java. Okay. We'll paste all this in here. Let's come up to the top and save this out. Okay, so basically what we've got is the box class here, and then we've got our This Keyword class up here. This keyword class has the main method entry point, right? We're going to be creating a whole bunch of box objects. Okay. I've got 4 instance variables, all of them are private, so we've got good encapsulation here. And then our default constructor, I added this one line, which is going to display to the console the string literal, right? Inside of the no argument constructor, this equals, and then we'll display actually this, right? What it's actually equal to. And if you remember from my tutorial kind of explaining what an object is with the reference variables and everything like that, you'll know that it's going to produce basically like the object reference memory address, like box at, and then some sort of memory address. And then I added in the second line with the 3 argument inside of the 3 parameter constructor, this equals plus this, right? Inside of the 4 parameter constructor, this equals, and then plus this. And this will make some more sense here in just a moment there. I'm going to come back up here to the This Keyword class. And you can see what I've done here is we're, of course, doing the same thing from the last tutorial there where I've got this box B equal to a new box, right? And we're using the setter methods here to set it, right? And then I've got a string literal here inside of the main method B equals and then plus B, right? And what'll happen is when the new operator instantiates the box object and the box, this will tell it to go ahead and let's call the box constructor with no arguments, right? It'll come down here and it'll do this super line. Don't worry about that yet. I haven't gotten into what that is, but it will say inside of the no argument constructor this equals, and we'll see the value of that, right? What reference that's printed off to. And then it'll set the length, height, and width, and then we'll go ahead and print what the value of B is here, right? And we'll see what goes on there. Let's go ahead and just save this real quick here and run it. We'll talk a little bit more about some other stuff here. Okay, so the first thing we got, inside of the no argument constructor, this equals box at, and then some memory address here. And yours will probably be different than that, but the only thing that'll be the same is the box and then the at, right? And then you can see inside the main method B equals box and at and everything like that. So essentially, the reference variable D is pointing to the exact, or B, I'm sorry, is pointing to the exact same reference as this, right? Okay. When we come back down here to this right here, we got method C, right? Method C is just for creating a new box object too as well. And this is a three arguments we're passing to 3 parameters. So we come down here to the 3 parameter one here, say inside of the 3 parameters constructor, this equals, and this, right? And you can see this is a separate object reference than the one that was created up here, right? So we're definitely dealing with separate objects as we would be expecting, because, you know, C is a separate object from B, obvious. Well, C is a separate reference variable, refers to a different object than B. That's what I'm trying to say. So we have this string literal plus our C reference to this box object, okay? Now box D, which is our passing 4 arguments into 4 parameters. When this constructor gets initialized, it'll come down here and pick the matching one. It'll say inside of the 4 parameter, this one right here, sorry. So inside of the 4 parameter constructor, this equals plus this, right? And we can see that's exactly what happens there. So this is basically the keyword. This refers to an object reference. Okay, so now that we have an object reference, we can set stuff just like we can set stuff outside of or with the D. Only since we're inside of the object, we actually have access to the reference variables. With these to the instance variables. I'm sorry. With these instance variables right here, we just can't say something like, you know, b dot height equals 6, right? If we save that out there and we try to compile that, right, we're going to get an error. It has private access in box. We can't access that. Now, since this is inside of the class, this can actually access any one of these instance variables. And what you probably haven't said, but you might have noticed that, is all of a sudden you can see down here. So the first constructor I took out before I had like the little kind of paran descriptor inside of each one, after each one of these. And I just went ahead and removed all those, okay? So we've got our constructor parameter names, right? And so now we can say length, and now this length right here is actually the parameter name length. And by putting this dot length, that refers to the box object's length, which is this one up here. So we can say the parameter length, we're going to assign its value to this dot length, which is actually this one right up here, right? The instance variable length. Because now this, remember, it's referring to this whole entire box object. So the dot operator says, okay, we can go ahead and access this particular variable here, which is the instance variable here, okay? So coming down here for the other constructors, I've just gone through and put the whole this on the left side over here of the assignment operator there. All of these are named the same. And same thing with the setter methods there, right? The get length methods, it's not necessary to put a this on there. We absolutely can, right? But because we're not dealing with variable names that are the same, it doesn't really, you don't have to, right? As a matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and leave that on there, you know, for that particular one there. So in all the setter methods, I've changed the name of the parameter variable coming in, right? And then we set the instance variable, which is this dot height, right, in this particular case, and assign it the value of height, which is the parameter variable. Okay, so by naming these this way, right, there is no confusion as to, okay, is length is going to be basically passed in as a parameter, and we're going to use that to assign this value right up there, right? Since it's all named the same, that eliminates some confusion there, as long as you are familiar with what this dot does, right? The this keyword. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll just save that here. We'll clear this screen off. Recompile and run it again there. Okay, we still have the volume of our box is 100, the volume of our box B is 100, box C is 96, and box D is 210 cubic inches, right? And you can see that the reference variables contained up in this keyword class refer to the exact same object as the this inside of there. Okay, so now I'm just going to leave you with some final thoughts here. There are a couple schools of thought on whether to name your parameter variables the same name as your instance variables or to name them differently. The same argument can apply to both ways, and that's to eliminate confusion. If you name the parameter variable different but similar to the instance variable, there's no need for the this keyword, and that will eliminate confusion. However, if you name the parameter variable and the instance variable the same name but include the this keyword for the instance variable, then there is now no question about which parameter variable will change which instance variable value, because they're paired up with the same name basically, right? Now using this version is a slightly more advanced technique, but really the choice is up to you. You're going to come across both ways when you're reading other people's codes. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this, and that concludes part 1 of this tutorial. Thanks for watching.